So before getting into the actual practice of meditation and some advice on that, let's take a few moments just to consider the value of meditation. Why do we meditate? And I said earlier that one of the basic values of meditation is to allow the mind to settle down, to come back to a state of peace, back to a state of ease. And that's probably the most fundamental reason, and one that underlies many other reasons. And one point to make here, it's not about making ourselves happy or discovering ease or finding something that's not already there. It's really when we allow the mind to settle down, then we naturally come into that state of ease, which is already there, but usually overshadowed by the busyness of all our thinking. An analogy that I often use myself is living in San Francisco or outside of San Francisco, north of San Francisco as I do. In the summertime, there's this thing you probably heard of where San Francisco becomes the coldest city in the US because it gets completely fogged in, or not completely fogged in, but areas get fogged in and it's grey and cold. And you drive out of the city, you get halfway across the Golden Gate Bridge and the fog clears and you're in brilliant, warm sunshine. And there's always that realization that you forgot the sun was always there. You just had to drive out of the fog and there was the sunshine and the warmth. And I often feel it's the same with meditation. We are so caught up in our thinking and our busyness, we forget that that quality of ease, contentment is waiting for us. The happiness is there. We just need to, in a sense, drive out of all the busyness of the thoughts, and we just discover this. You always say that the light of consciousness is there already. And that's why in meditation it's often said there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. We're not trying to make anything happen. It's more we're undoing all of the things we're already doing that get in the way of us feeling content, feeling at ease. So that's the basic reason for meditation. The second thing is it clearly is a very good way of dealing with stress. A lot of the physiological work that's been done on meditation over the years shows that when we meditate, we come into the exact opposite physiological response than when we're under stress. When we're under stress, things like blood pressure increases, heart rate increases, our breathing tends to become shallow and quicker, our brains move into a more tense mode of functioning. There's a whole range of things that happen under stress, which are basically getting us ready to act. It's often called the flight-fight response, getting us to either flight, to run away from danger, or to fight the danger. That's the essence of the stress response. And meditation has often been labeled as the relaxation response. All of the things that happen in the body in meditation tend to be the opposite of what happens in stress. And that itself is clearly of value in various ways. First of all, it's obviously good for our health. I mean, how many illnesses, diseases come from the fact that the body is under too much stress? You know, even the fact, why do you get a cold one day and not another day? You can be with a situation with a person one day and catch a cold, another day you may not. You know, how much of that is just how stressed we are affecting the immune system? And there's many other ways in which less stress is obviously good for our health. But also it's good for the mind too. If we're less stressed, we're going to feel clearer, we're going to be more creative, we're going to see things in a different way, understand things better. And also for our relationships. I mean, I think we all know, when we've been stressed in a relationship, we're more likely to maybe say something out of spontaneous bit of anger or hurt, not say things the right way, whatever it is. If we can be more cool, more calm, more relaxed, we're just going to respond better to people, treat people in better ways. So these are all real values of meditation. And probably the real, not the real, but one of the ultimate values in many traditions is understanding ourselves better. That as the mind quietens down, we begin to understand ourselves. We see how our minds function. We see where we get caught up in stories. We begin to see how the ego operates and begin to notice that deeper sense of being, that deeper sense of self that's always there. And this is something we'll be looking at more in later sessions, is this question of who am I really? What is the real self? And meditation is a way of beginning to uncover that for ourselves.